Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet the author of this amazing book, Cracking the Love Code. Her inspiring journey is just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, we talk a lot about healthy relationships on this show, and the truth is that you have to love yourself in order to be capable of loving someone else. And someone who knows that very well is my next guest, Veta Newton. She's the author of Cracking the Love Code.
Hi, Jeff.
Thanks for coming on the
Nice
show.
to meet you. Thank you.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you on the show, and so let's talk about your journey, because it has tragedy and triumph.
It does.
Tell us why you wrote the book.
I wrote the book for myself mainly because it feels like when you're in a lot of heartbreak, you tend to devalue yourself. You think you accept things that you really shouldn't, and don't have boundaries, don't have any limits. You just kind of accept what's presented to you.
Sure.
So I kind of learned that you need to look inward and just find your value so you can portray that out to others, to men or, that you want a relationship with.
Absolutely. And so we're going to put the book's cover up on the screen so you can see this. One, I love the artwork.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And that looks a little bit like a broken heart.
It does. I mainly used that there was a Japanese, I don't know if you read the book, but it's called Kanitsu, and they put their pottery together with gold. Instead of, throwing it away, they use it and mend it with gold. So that was why I used the heart with the lines and the cracks. So they fill it in with gold, and it makes it more valuable than it was originally.
Sure. Well, share a little bit of your journey. You had some unhealthy relationships?
I had a lot of unhealthy relationships, yeah. I grew up, it's just like, if you don't have someone, a father figure or someone that kind of boosts your value, then you tend to look some other places for that.
Yes.
So and at one point, you have to realize it's the common denominator is you.
Yes.
Right? So you have to look inward. And so it took me a while. I mean, I'm 67. I'm just figuring it out.
You look great, by the way. And I know a lot of your fans are women, and one of your messages in the book is teaching women to value themselves. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you do. You have to look at yourself and think, what can you present to someone? What is your value? I looked at it like God. You have to look at what God values you. He made you, so you're valuable to Him. So you have to look at your worth from Him, get your worth from Him, and know that you're valuable to Him so you can put that out to other people.
I love that. And there are often toxic relationships out there, and people will stay in toxic relationships sometimes for decades. But at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror in the morning, you have to love yourself, and you have to tell yourself the right story. So let's talk about the importance of positive self-talk.
You do have to look at yourself, and I learned that too. Michael talked about that. You tell yourself in the mirror that you are lovable and that you love yourself, and just say that to yourself every day.
Yes.
So positivity sinks in, not as fast as negative. You talk negative, it kind of sinks in faster, it seems like, but if you do it enough, it's going to sink in.
What has been one of the most flattering comments that you've gotten since you've written the book?
I guess everybody was just shocked that I could even write a book. I shocked myself.
Have you had some people say, wow,
I didn't know you could do that. Or I didn't know, I don't know. It's kind of, sometimes I feel like it's embarrassing to talk about your past, especially if you have one like I've had, because you don't want to really dig up your, skeletons. But that's kind of how you get to where you are now. You learn those lessons and
Sure.
you move forward and you use those tools that you learned to kind of like make your life better.
Did you find, was it fairly cathartic and therapeutic for you to write the book when you were writing
Oh
it? Were
gosh,
you-
that's mainly why I did it. Yeah, I cried through the whole thing. I did. It was just kind of just like for me. But then when I found Michael, it
Yes.
was like, I wonder, I reached out to him and I didn't think that I would even hear back from him, but he,
And we're talking about the great Michael
Yeah,
Butler.
Michael
He's an
Butler.
amazing publisher.
is, yeah.
And we're both big fans of Michael Butler. You're also a popular speaker. We're going to pull up your website. And as we scroll down the website, what kind of groups do you like to speak to?
I like to speak to all groups, like women, especially women. You know, I know it's hard if women are like trying to get into the online dating thing, which was the thing for me. It was like the first time I had been on an online dating app.
Sure.
So it was very traumatizing. So right out of the chute.
I get that. I mean, that kind of the swipe right, swipe left.
Yeah,
thing,
it's horrible.
You feel very judged.
You are very judged.
She's also very popular with the media. In fact, she did several interviews a few weeks ago. We found one of them. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Happy to welcome to our program best-selling author, wellness coach, exercise specialist, nutritionist, author of Cracking the Love Code, Lessons Learned from Relationship Mishaps after having many heartbreaking moments, failed marriages, being scammed during her first attempt of online dating, Veta Newton, Benton, Texas. Veta, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
You had a great accent. I love it. We just love it.
We're from Texas.
Oh, I love it. All right, so back in the day, my wife and I have been married coming up 39 years. I used to be able to go to movie and pizza for $20. It's gone up.
Right.
So
Yeah, things have changed a lot.
yeah,
haven't they?
so what do we do this right? What do we do these days? I mean, to go to the park? What do you think?
Yeah,
What's it?
just a meetup or
No. You know, dating to me is like an investment. Men need to realize you're looking for your lifelong partner, right? So when you first come out of the chute with somebody, you need to put your best foot forward, right? First impressions. So you have to really plan a date, pick them up, and take them to somewhere nice. You don't have to spend a ton of money,
Yeah.
but it is a lot more expensive. But you have to put the work in if you want a high-value woman.
Well, I mean, and you're talking about thinking, guys, think out of the box a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Be creative.
Yep.
Be creative, yes.
Yeah.
You want to take them on activity and have fun. Dating should be fun. You know, it shouldn't be a chore.
Yeah. So, how are you? Are you good?
I'm good, yes.
Oh.
I wrote a book. I've had a lot of issues. I've had a lot of heartbreaks, and I thought I'd write a book about it, especially for women that need to learn their value. And if they learn their value, they're going to attract a high-value man.
Do you think there are a lot of high-value men available?
That's a good question. I do think there are a lot of high-value men available.
What would make a high-value man? Define that.
That they are chivalrous, that they're courteous, that they put the woman on a pedestal pretty much. Right?
Yep,
So that's
yep.
how women, even though women are independent, they still like that. They still like to be treated that way. And you and I come from different generations, but, you know, it doesn't hurt for people to learn. The younger generation can learn how to treat a woman.
You are so sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Vita, I'm older than you, so don't even.
I don't think.
I don't know about that, aren't I? I'm way older than Vita.
I would think so, but I really can't tell. I mean, it might be the fitness chapter of Vita's life.
Yeah.
You're staying fit these days, too, as a wellness coach, right?
Yes. I'm 67, but yes, I've been in fitness my whole life. So
Let me just
when
say,
you
we'd have been in high school together, okay? Okay? So
Yeah.
we'd have been in the same hallways. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Anyway, it's great to have you and meet you. So I think these days faith is a big thing for me. I think that you know, we are in a crazy world, and I think we're messed up without God, and the country's shoving God out, and that's what we're getting. So I think we need people of faith. I think have a real advantage.
And that's what my book is about. It talks about having God first, letting him guide you and lead you, and learning your value from him, from God. Learning you're valuable to him, so you're going to be valuable to some other man, that has high value also.
Wouldn't there be quality men at church? You'd hope so.
You'd think so, right? I'm kind of out of the dating loop right now. I kind of like, I don't know. I'm just kind of stepping back and finding my own self-worth. That's why I wrote the book, so I could find myself, learn my value, because I've had a lot of those that crawl out from under the rock, per se. But anyway, I've learned a lesson, so I wanted to teach everybody else what to do and what not to do.
Book is called Cracking the Love Code. Just wish we could hear you read it, because then you'd hear all the Southern Texas stuff. So.
Yeah, that'd be
You can
nice.
have me anytime.
You ought to just read your book. Page 1, right?
Yeah.
Is your
Call
book,
me anytime.
is your book available everywhere?
It's on Amazon, yes.
Okay, all right. I hope you sell a whole bunch, but it's nice meeting you, Veta. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being on. Veta Newton.
Wow, you do have a beautiful Southern drawl. Maybe you should do an audio book. So we only have a couple minutes left, so I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to the woman who's in a toxic relationship, and no amount of counseling is going to cure it. What do you want to say to that
Right. I
person?
think when you're in a toxic relationship, you need to recognize it first, because you get so enthralled in it, and sometimes you're scared to get out because you could be in an abusive relationship, or mentally or physically. But if you can find some space to look inward and see, is this really the way you want to live? Do you want to live this way the rest of your life? You deserve better than that. And no one has to live that way. So that's what I would give the advice.
Beautiful way to close the show, and we're going to also leave you with her website, which is, of course, VetaNewton.com, the great Veta Newton. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
You
I
bet.
appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.